Should you buy Sorrento? And if so, when should you buy it? Welcome for the first technical analysis of Sorrento Therapeutics Inc. on Technically Analyzed. This is Dr. B on Webull, and I will be explaining what you should be looking for before adding Sorrento to your watch list for trading and as a long-term investment. Since I will be reviewing Sorrento in this video, starting this Tuesday, I will be adding it to the Livestream list. The Livestream is a free daily live streaming of the stocks I review, which allows you to see the price action moving between the support and resistance trend lines and levels you are about to see in this video. Make sure to subscribe to get a notification whenever we start the live streaming. Also, as we view the live stream, we are discussing ideas and strategies on our free Discord server. The invitation link can be found in the description below. Alright, so now let's talk about Sorrento. Unlike my other videos, I will start with the levels and then explain the indicators. If you look at the price action of Sorrento over the last almost 10 years, you will notice that it was a big falling wedge with multiple failed breakout attempts. Then in May 2020, it broke out, went all the way up to 10, and then went back down for what seems to be a retest of what was once a resistance to use it as support. It went up and rallied all the way up to $19, then it went into another falling wedge pattern. Almost 1 month ago, it broke out and then dropped again to retest the breakout level. It bounced back up, but for the last 2 trading days, it has been going down. Now, although we got good news on Thursday, it went down, and you should have seen that coming actually. The last 2 trading candles are forming a bearish 2-candle pattern called the tweezer top. That's why we dropped yesterday. Alright, so where is it heading and what levels should we look for? First, we are assuming that the price is flowing in a big upward channel that formed after the breakout in May. It's a relatively young channel, but we will continue to monitor it and make sure it's actually flowing through it. So far, it actually is flowing through it. If we look at the daily, we will notice that the candle closed right above the outer support level of the small upward channel. But if we look at the lower time frames, we will notice that it actually broke it. So now, even if we break the small channel for a few days, it's very possible that we can go back and flow within it. The levels to look for are as follows. If we are respecting this small channel, then we are due for a bounce back up. If it climbs to 7.59 and holds it, then we are going up and we may see levels of $8 and $8.3 as a conservative estimate. If we do not hold it, then there is a possibility that we are heading to the 78.6 Fibonacci retracement level, sitting at $7. It's also possible that it will drop slightly below it to 6.93 to retest the breakout level, aligned perfectly with the outer support of the big young channel that I talked about and the lower band of the Bollinger Bands. In this case, this will be a double bottom and may indicate a strong bounce back up. Below this level, we have the 6.58 level where the previous dip tested. This is also where the lower line of the Donchian channel and the super trend line, which acts as strong support and resistance, are setting. A brief dip and retest of this level is unlikely, but is still possible. If we go up, we are looking at the levels between 7.58 and 8.33, with a strong resistance support level at 8, which is the 23.6% Fibonacci extension level. Now the question is, which direction is more likely to happen tomorrow, up or down? So we need to check the indicators to decide. We are trading above the super trend, which is good. The super trend is flat, which means that we are trading almost sideways, which is true for the last few weeks, as we can see here. For the DC and the Bollinger Bands, we closed below the middle bands. This is not good and indicates that it didn't work as support, but we also closed above the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, which may indicate a bounce back up. The DMI is showing multiple crossings. Again, this means sideways ranging. The buying pressure is dropping and the selling pressure is increasing, which is not good. But at the same time, the ADX is at 13.6, which is way lower than 25 and means that this trend is fading and losing strength and momentum. The RSI is in the middle at 48, but in general we are going up. The EMAs do not look good. The small EMAs are all below the 50 EMA, but they are all still above the 200 EMA, which is slightly good. What we want to see is that all of them staying in order and pointing up. The Ichimoku cloud indicator is the one that I want to look at carefully. First, the red Como cloud is closing, which is good. The conversion line, which is the blue line, is flat, but the baseline, which is the red line, is positive slope, which is not good because it means that they may cross in that direction. And what you want to see is the blue line above the red line. And even better if that happens above the price action and the cloud. Another thing that doesn't look very nice here is that the price is inside the Como cloud. In general, as a rule, you don't want to trade inside the cloud. But also if you wait, you may miss a swing or so. So the cloud rejected the price and it's bouncing back down. So tomorrow we will know if the cloud will act as support now and make it bounce back up, or if it will just fall through it. Ideally, we want to bounce back up and break through it and then trade above the cloud. It's not really clear which direction we are heading. Many indicators say that we will bounce back up, but also we will have to dip first, as we can see. So let's look at the smaller time frames to see if we can get any clues. At the 4 hour, we just broke below the super trend and it gave a selling signal. So well, that may just mean that we will drop tomorrow before we go back up. The EMAs are heading below the 50 EMA and the 200 EMAs. The 50 EMA is below the 200 EMA, so all of these need to get in order and be sorted, and they just indicate that there was a strong bearish trend. RSI is showing a drop towards the 30. Given the previous history, we will drop to 30 before we bounce back up. We are almost approaching the lower line of the Donchian channel and the lower band of the Bollinger Band. We just fell through the red cloud, but a green cloud is forming and the conversion line is above the baseline, which is good. Notice that all of that is at the time frame of 4 hours. So in the pre-market, we may do all of these drops and bouncing and start to go up again. On the 2 hours, that is interesting. We are actually bouncing off of the Como cloud, which acts as strong support and resistance based on the thickness. But it's not thick enough, so you never know. It can actually fall through it. And this is also very possible because in the 1 hour chart, we are actually trading below the Como cloud. We are also trading below the super trend. All EMAs are almost crossing below the 200 EMA, and we are touching the lower bands and the levels of the DC and the Bollinger Bands. So I believe that we most likely will check the 7 level before we bounce back up. If you found this video useful, please help the channel by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Also remember to join the free Discord server for my live commentary on the price action of Sorrento and other tickers. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful week of trading.